Good morning. This is Brigid Strickling, but Claire asked me to put together this video for anyone who would be interested, talking about using Google Forms, how to make them, and like what they're good for. So to start off, I'm definitely not an expert, but I've used them a couple times with students in class. They're pretty easy to use. And then it's nice sometimes, I know Schoology has a lot of features, but sometimes it's nice to just see student responses all in the same place, and be able to look through and compare, contrast, or like for a very, kind of like an exit ticket style thing, be able to just kind of scan through and see responses. So Google Forms, if you've not used them, you have the opportunity to, I guess, pick out what type of questions you want students to answer. So I've used this one for an activity that we do in sociology, but, like fill in the blank, there's multiple choice, short answer, long answer, whatever. And then once students submit their responses, I like that you can see a summary of their response. So like everybody's all together. So if you just want to kind of see like where students are at, but you don't necessarily need to assign a grade to everybody, that's nice because you can kind of just get a good idea all at once. Or if you want to see individually, you just click over to the individual tab, and then you can go through and see every student's response individually, and you can just click through and be on your way to see what everyone's put. So if you've never used them before, they're pretty easy to make and manipulate. And right now, like I had 24 of my students respond. I can go through if I wanted to. I just clicked on the little tool option over there. But you can limit responses. You can set all these things up for kids. And then there is a way to make it into like a quiz, but I don't do that. But then there is a way to, now of course that I'm filming, I can't find it. Oh, here we go. If you want to stop accepting responses, you just click on the tab, and then you can also either download people's responses, delete them all, whatever. So you can reuse the form, or you just make a bunch of them and do what you need to with them. But so to make one, you just go to Google Drive, and then I think you can click new and go through over here and click on more, and there it is. Or if you prefer this little menu up here, you just scroll down and then Google Form should show up. And so once you're in a form, like there's a ton of different templates that they have for you, or you can make your own. So you'll just go through, give it a title, and then you get to pick here what type of questions you want, whether it's multiple choice, short answer, paragraphs, if you want them to upload something. There's a bunch of options. So if you're using this to like check in with your students, you could ask them, you could have used it for the fun internet survey. But you just pick your answer, and then if you're doing it where you want kids to answer every single question before they submit, you can click on this little require tab, or not. Either way is great. And then you just simply add another question and you go on your way. And then once you've got everything set, I do believe you have to go to settings and make sure that it's active, or fill this out as you want to. And then it automatically saves because it's Google Drive. Oh, this is, sorry, it's been a while since I've made one of these, but there's your title, and then this would be directions for kids. But anyways, once you're done and you've got it set how you want it with all the questions, you then can send it to students, or like if you wanted to post this in Schoology, you can just copy the link, and then go to your Schoology page and post it there. And students, so just from how I've used it, if they start it and then they close out of the tab without submitting, when they try to reopen, none of their answers will be there. But if they start the form and keep that tab open, and then come back to it later, their answers will still be typed up and they can finish and submit it. But I like to kind of give kids that warning that if you start it and close out, your answers won't be there. And I thought there's a setting where it looks like you can make it so that it's resumable. And I tried that this last semester before school was canceled, and told kids, oh, you'd be able to get back into it. And then they had part of their answers submitted, and then they couldn't actually re-access that same form, so they had to submit twice. So just know that, yeah, if they go through and fill things out and don't submit, but keep the tab open, they can resume it later. But if they close out of their internet browser, they'll have to restart. But yeah, that's a very brief, simple overview. Like I said, I know some people use Google Forms for quizzes and tests, and you can get very fancy with it. You can change the theme. It doesn't have to be that purple. You can pick images as a header, all that good stuff. But it's a nice way to just see students' responses all in one place, or just try something a little different. And it's very easily accessible for students. Let me see if I pull my Schoology, which again, if you copy that link and then go into your course, you can, just like you would with anything else, go to add materials, add the file link, post it in there, and then share, and kids can see it. So good luck. Hopefully everyone is staying healthy and doing well. And hopefully this was somewhat helpful. Feel free to, I guess, email me if you have questions, stricklingb. But again, I'm not necessarily an expert, but I'd be happy to help you as best I can. Thanks. Goodbye.